Hello everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the Harris practice method. Hopefully it'll become some sort of use to any or hopefully all of you. Please use it, it's yours. Today I'll be playing my custom Bach 12G, the best trombone I've ever played in my life, and I'll be playing on a Dennis Wick 10CS mouthpiece. So let's get to it. Practicing. Man, sometimes practice is great, sometimes practice ain't great. What do I do on those days that it ain't great? Well, let me help you out with this. You got to remember three little things. One is where. Two is what. Three is how. If you remember those three things, pretty much every practice session that you had is going to be efficient and productive. It's kind of like a teacher making a lesson plan. One, where am I going to practice? Well, I don't know. You know, if you teach middle school, you heard that a lot, right? Or if you're in middle school, you might even say that. I don't know where I'm going to practice. Find a spot in the house. Find a spot that you're not going to be bothered, where you're not going to bother anybody else. Where is that going to be? I don't know. That's for you to decide. Band directors, tell your kids to do the same thing. Private lesson instructors, you're probably already on this anyway. So that's the where. Where am I going to practice? It's a big deal, because you don't want to be interrupted during your practice session. Okay, two, what? What am I going to practice? Before you even take your instrument, your Bach trombone, out of the case, decide what it is that you're going to practice. Am I going to practice an all-region or all-state etude? Am I going to practice my solo for solo and ensemble contest? Am I going to practice the piece for UIL concert and sight reading contest? Only you know what that's going to be. Or you and your band director. So decide what it is you're going to practice. I like to practice 2 or 3 different things in my practice session. Sometimes I practice basic fundamentals. If my tongue strikes aren't where they are and I need to revisit that, I'm going to dedicate a certain portion of my practice session to that. If I'm working on the bridge to Cherokee, well, I'm going to get on my program on my iPad, and I'm going to loop the bridge to Cherokee, and that's what I'll practice. Or I'll just loop the first 2/5 in it, and then make my transition to the next 2/5 and add those together. That's the what. Decide exactly what you're going to practice during your session. The third thing, and probably the most important, is how. How long am I going to practice? Okay, let's talk about this. Your band director say you need to practice 30 minutes. And college directors say you need to practice X number of hours a day. I don't know what it is. Only you and your body and your instructors know how much you should practice. Okay, so here's the ticket. What does that time look like? Am I going to warm up for 5 minutes? Check my cell phone. You'd be amazed at how much time you spend just looking at Facebook or TikTok. That time doesn't count as time. Time on the horn counts as practice time. Well, how do I keep up with it? Set an alarm. Today, I'm going to spend 20 minutes on my all-state etude. I'm going to spend 4.5 minutes on warm-up. I'm going to spend 6 minutes on warm-down. Do the math. You can figure it out. So, where am I going to practice? What am I going to practice? And how long am I going to practice it? I need to practice 8 hours a day. Do you? I'm a professional trombonist and I don't practice 8 hours a day. My chops can't take that and take the gig tonight. Maybe yours can, but you have to be the judge of what your body can do. So, the health of your body has always got to come first. We don't want to get bruised. We don't want to get chipped. We don't want chop fatigue, because then we can't play on the gig or the rehearsal. Short interval training is what I like to do. It's like power lifters or athletes. Well, our chops are athletic. So play for a while, take a break for a little while. If you're playing loud during the day in marching band rehearsal, or if you're in the 1 o'clock lab band at UNT, go UNT. Or if you're in the wind ensemble at the University of Texas, you're going to be playing long hours. Be smart about your dedicated practice sessions. If you're playing loud in marching band, back it off in the practice session. If you need to step on the gas to prepare for something, do it. Do it in short spurts. Build the endurance, and you'll be just fine.